shoot, 13, we beat them twice. Come from behind wins similar to this. You know, it was funny. Those guys behind our bench, I don't recognize all of them, but, you know, they're hounding you all game long, and they were hounding me all game long, as they should have, throwing those 2 early interceptions. But once we got it to 21-14, when Mike scored on the reverse, I, in my typical fashion, hollered up there and said, "This is going to be just like 2013." And I didn't know it was going to be very, very similar, but winning like that on the last play of the game was just like 2013.
How do you keep your spirits up and concentration after this started?
I think it's just a resilient team. I don't have any problem doing it. I don't mean that like I'm just saying I've been through a lot of games. A lot of these veteran players have, but I think it's this team. We won a close game in Seattle. We won a close game against the Titans in London. We lost a close game to Denver. We went to Pittsburgh and found a way. So I don't think there's anything this team believes we can't do. Now, that doesn't mean we're always going to do it. But I think, you know, it wasn't a very happy sideline for most of this game, but it wasn't a dejected sideline. Like, here we go again. It wasn't that. Where, you know, it's hard to fight against that when you're going 4-12 and 5-11 and not winning these close games. So having had some experiences where we've overcame some things, won some close games, nobody was panicking. You know, when we scored with 3.5 minutes left and we got the block in the back on the kickoff, I said, this is it. We're going to have to get it back and tie it up. I didn't know we were going to go for 2, but glad we did. And it was just a heck of an effort. Ran the ball like we did. Those 2 rookie backs, 150 yards rushing, and time of possession was good. Third downs were good. Other than those 2 turnovers, we played pretty dang good. We really went how we wanted to go. Keep those guys on the sideline and convert third downs and score. Now, we didn't score as much as we wanted to, but guys up front battle, that's a tough pass rush if you're playing wherever you're playing. Play them here, it's even tougher because you're late off the ball. It's loud, and then the receivers all stepped up with Keenan out. They busted it. They just busted it. I think when we had Travis over there with him, we motioned Travis. So then they had to communicate. They were playing man coverage, and then they had to communicate, and I think they went in and out, and we had 2 coming in. So and then Mike went back out. Same play we ran for his first touchdown. We just dressed it up a little bit.
How about the 31-yard pass to Travis on that drive?
On the 4th down or the one before, we just twice. The one before, yes, that was the second 20. That was huge. You know, Travis, we called that play. We called that play a few plays earlier. I'm not sure where I threw it, and Travis came to me and said, "Hey, if we call that again now, I think I'm going to have a chance." You know, just our receivers, I trust them so much because they don't tell you they're open when they're not. They tell you what they really happened. And so then we called it again, and I said, "All right, Trav, here you go. I'm about to give it a shot. I'm going to peek at you and see." And sure enough, he came roaring in there with that speed and made a great catch and then catches the 4th down ball. He's never in there in the slot running a bender with 4 verts. He's never in there. And it was one of those, "All right, Trav, this is just, we're going to trust you. Get in there." And sure enough, he'd been in there right to right time. And those were 2 huge plays in that drive, obviously. Yeah, I threw a couple that were little floaters today, but yeah, I had a couple that came out pretty good, and thankfully in that situation. But team effort. I mean, our defense very opportunistic at the right time. Hey, this is it. We no more. We got to have to stop right now, or this thing's gonna get out of hand. You know, we had a couple of those situations, and they came up big. And I mean that offense. I know they weren't on the field as much as they're used to being on the field, but they didn't have 300 yards offense. I mean, so hats off to our defense.
You took a shot to the head.
Yeah.
It was clearly helmet on that.
I thought so. I mean, I feel good, but yeah, I didn't have any problems other than I thought we were going to get a first down in half the distance. But the things are happening fast out there, so I understand why they can't see them all. It's just they seem to usually err on the side of thinking it is and not thinking it's not.
You scored a touchdown. The kicking you tried to run on and give out. What was the conversation there?
I was gone. I was going to the sideline, going to overtime. And Coach Lynn said, "Let's go win it right now. Let's go for 2. Let's go win it right now." And when he said that, there was so much conviction from him. It was, yeah, let's go win it right now. I mean, it was immediately turn around and let's go win it. I mean, and if we didn't win it, we didn't win it. But I think his conviction, it wasn't like, should we? It wasn't. It was, no, let's go win the game.
And you got a little time, too, because they had a review. So
yeah, we had plenty of time. Yeah, I think it was just that. What do you want? What do we want? I mean, what Mike was rolling. It was Mike, but in those situations, it's the guy that's caught more touchdowns than any tight end ever in football, and Mike Williams, who's on fire. So let's give these 2 guys a shot and win and lose with them right there. And so we had Gates running the back line, and we had Mike running what he ran, and one of them was going to get a shot.
To win the way you did at Pittsburgh and then at Kansas City, coming back in both those games, how does that sort of battle test this team?
I mean, yeah, I don't know what more we can face to be ready for January football. And I'm not jumping ahead. We got work to do still. All this did was get us a spot, and we still need help from Kansas City, and we have to win our next 2 to win the division. But I don't know what more from a battle tested standpoint. I don't know what else we can deal with. We dealt with a terrible loss to Denver at home where we kind of blew it, and we've won a bunch of close games in different fashions. We've won it with different guys in and out of the lineup. So I don't think there's any situation we can get in that we haven't seen. And, you know, that means you feel equipped and ready, and then see what happens when it gets here. It was awesome. I mean, him and Tyrell both, and Travis. I mean, Gates, he had some big plays down the stretch too. I mean, there's never been any doubt in this locker room about Mike, but I think that the whole world knows now why he was picked 7. You know, the man's got 9 touchdowns, and he pretty much in his own way. And again, all the receivers contributed, but he took over the football game. I mean, he scored on reverse. He caught the other 2 touchdowns. I mean, JJ scored on the 1. I mean, he caught the 2-point conversion. I mean, he caught big third-down conversions. He was run after catch. Hadn't seen him do as much of that just because he hadn't been in those situations. But unbelievable job by those receivers when Keenan goes out. If you could only imagine how many parts move, you know, how much we move those guys. Now, well, Keenan's out. Okay, well, Tyrell, you're the slot. Mike, you're the X. Travis, you're the Z. Okay, but on this play, we want Mike to be the F. And then it's just crazy. I mean, the dialogue in the huddle, hence why I'm out of my voice, because there's just I literally talked. Y'all know I like to talk, and I talked for all 4 hours of that game, so I'm pretty worn out. Nah, he's a heck of a player, but no, it didn't. I mean, we're used to playing against him. I love seeing guys like that back out there. You know, you're happy for him to be back healthy. I mean, he hadn't played since week 1, so. But no, it helps her. I mean, he's a good player, but it doesn't change our approach. Yeah, it's exciting. I mean, I think you always talk about winning the division, but you just want to get a spot. You know, you just want to give yourself a chance. The seasons are tough, the ones that you get done week 16 or week 17, and you just go, we didn't even give ourselves a chance. You know, even all the years we've been in the playoffs, we've been eliminated, but we gave ourselves a chance. You know, and so to know we're going to have a chance again is exciting. To be one of 12 that have a chance, and you know. We got to keep getting better, though. We got 2 weeks to get better before we get that opportunity.
Phil, the ball kind of caught you as Mahomes for a touchdown, just kind of with your mouth open and from it, just as a surprise. Just what stood out to you about the Mahomes touchdown?
Oh, it was a heck of a play. Just how he makes some unreal throws. He breaks every rule in the book, throwing back across the middle. And I guess when you have that kind of arm, you can do it. I can't do it. If I'd have thrown some of those he threw today, I'd have thrown 6 interceptions. And just credit to him. I'm not taking anything away from him. I'm saying that his arm is that talented, and he has an ability to do it. So it was kind of one of those, shoot, I can't believe he made that play. I'd have thrown it in the 3rd row.
Given all the different circumstances, Philip, you guys have won in all the different venues this year. How much would hope it would be?
Well, I think it would be different should we had it. If we get it, it would be different. Obviously, we all know that. But ain't no doubt it's better than having to play here or in New England or in Pittsburgh or in Baltimore or in Houston or anywhere else we're going to have to go. At least we'll be able to hear a little bit. And I do think if that were to come to, it would be a heck of an atmosphere in the Hub Hub.